All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with North Carolina's post-game press conference. If you're on Zoom, use the raise your hand function. If you have a question, if you're in the room, raise your hand and Justin will bring the microphone to you. We'll get started with questions after a opening statement from Coach Forbes. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, ACC champs. I remember being at Virginia down, like that, pretty down in the dumps too after that walk-off win on Saturday. But I just, what kept me going for this team was our players, because they've done everything right from the start of the fall, summer school guys all the way back then, in the classroom, off the field, work ethic, and I just felt like, okay, we just have to stay positive and something good is going to happen, and these guys did it. It started in the locker room with guys like Angel Zarate and Danny Soretti, Clemente Inkling. I could just roll them off. All these guys that just graduated, and that's true leadership. We all know if you coach long enough, it's about those players are the ones that make these things happen. So as far as today goes, our whole approach was we wanted to win an ACC championship for the University of North Carolina's baseball program. We just happened to be playing NC State. I thought it was great for our fans, for everybody's fans, to be in Charlotte, pack the house. I think the story of the game was Carlson. And he's a guy up here that, had that season-ending surgery, and we weren't sure if he was even going to be available this year. And I've always believed in all those years as a pitching coach that there's too much rest, and 4 days is about perfect, and he showed that today. So I'm really proud of him. And you got Vance over here, obviously, with the 2 bombs that didn't hurt. But I'm really happy for these guys and our program.
Questions? Jonas here in front.
This is for Coach or either one of the players. Heading into next weekend, how do you take this momentum and kind of build off what you've done to kind of turn the season around heading into the regionals, which will more than likely be in Chapel Hill next weekend?
Yeah, obviously we are feeling pretty good, but we don't want to ride the highs too high and ride the lows too low. So we're just going to keep our heads forward, keep working hard, and see what happens.
Second that. Just kind of going off of feeling good, and then just getting back to work this week and getting ready to play on the weekend.
Obviously, you can see by that answer by Carly over here why he's so good on the mound. He's got ice water, and he's a laid-back dude. So he's exactly right. We know what our mission is, and this was one stepping stone, so we'll enjoy today, and we'll get back at it tomorrow with our normal routine and be in the weight room after the selection show.
In the front row. Pat.
Max, kind of going off Coach's comments there a little bit. 4 days rest for you, second start back-to-back like that. Just when did you find out that you were getting the ball a day? And just kind of what was the mindset? Again, just short rest coming into this one.
Yeah, I was texting back and forth with Coach Forbes last night, and decided I was going to get the ball. Told him I wanted the ball, and 4 days rest is a big league rotation. Nothing I can't do, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, just tuning them up.
Yeah, I guess.
In the back of the room, Todd.
Yeah, Vance, can you talk about your performance today? I mean, that's like a Little League performance right there. It puts up some big numbers today. Just how nice was it? How satisfying was it to have a performance like that?
It was awesome. I mean, it was really cool. But I mean, at the end of the day, we wanted to win, and we got that. So, I mean, someone was going to step up. I didn't know who it was going to be, but this team just always works, and we just kind of got in that groove, and we were able to step up and get some runs across, and guys like Carlson were able to kind of hold it down.
Front row.
Vance, we talked to you last weekend about how you hadn't played any postseason baseball. Now that you've had 4 games under your belt, tournament MVP, just what did you take from these last 4 games, and what can you take into next weekend?
Just kind of win or go home, that kind of mentality. So you're just kind of playing to win the one game, and at the end of the day, you want to be 1-0. So that's kind of the mentality you have to go at, and we were able to do that this week.
Jonas here in front.
Vance, Coach Avent just now said, you ran a zone. I think we all saw that this week and would agree. From your standpoint, what does that feel like? What does that look like when you're in a zone at the plate like that throughout the course of like 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, I feel like if you're seeing it well, you're able to spit on pretty good pitchers' pitches that off speed in the dirt or like the changeup's low, just stuff like that, and you're able to kind of get your pitch and not kind of chase. And if you're able to do that, then you can find a barrel and good things happen.
All right, we got a couple questions on Zoom. Adam, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Max, I was going to ask you about Vance. What can you say about the way he's swinging the bat, the confidence he's playing with, and it must be a nice luxury to be able to sit in the dugout and watch him jack a bunch of balls out of the yard.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to watch. It's extremely fun, and it's not just Vance either. It's our entire lineup, all of us, all of them can do damage, and it's really a pleasure to have him out there in center field and all the other 8 guys on the baseball field because they hold it down for us.
All right, next question is from Shelby Swanson. Go ahead, Shelby.
Hey Vance, asked you about this a little bit earlier on this season, but I just want to go back to those mid-season tweaks that you made to your swing, kind of taking the tilt out, and how you've seen those improvements, especially with your consistency throughout this ACC Championship run.
Yeah, the credit goes to Coach Weirs. He's always open to work with you, and we needed to make a change, and we just kind of made a couple tweaks here and there, and it's just kind of working out so far. So hopefully keep it going.
Question in the room, Jonas.
Coach, this is the second day you mentioned that we going from that weekend at Virginia to now an ACC championship. In your mind, what's been the biggest change or turnaround from that weekend to now sitting here with a title for the baseball program?
The one thing that I felt like that our players never did, even when we were going through that tough stretch, is I felt like they still played hard and they didn't quit. Never quit a game even though it was tough, and I thought that would serve them well, and we just needed to find a way, to win a couple close games. But a lot of credit goes to the 3 assistant coaches, Coach Gaines, Coach Weirs, and Coach Howell. I mean, they do a lot of things people don't see. I spend a lot of time with these guys, and at the end of the day, we also know you have to pitch and you have to defend at a high level to be successful. And we started doing that. Started with Liberty. We held Charlotte to 3 runs, and then our team just found a way to get the series done at NC State. I didn't think we played great, but we came out of there with 2 one-run wins, and I felt like that was the switch, where our guys, I saw their confidence start to take over. Guys were more comfortable in the box. Guys were back to being aggressive on the mound. And we talked a lot about defensively. If we can cut out the walks and the extra outs, make plays defensively, we could get back to where we wanted to get. And our guys have done that.
Pat?
Coach, you've talked about Vance since the moment he stepped on campus. And, here he is. He's the first freshman in D1 baseball to have a 2020 season since the BB Core era. Just for him to be able to make those tweaks and just stay even keeled through all this and be able to turn on the way he has down the stretch, just how much does that really kind of say about him?
Well, I have to, coaches in the back there, Coach Foss and Coach Wiersbicki, I wasn't even at the camp where they decided, hey, we need to offer this kid, a wiry, skinny dude back then that could really run and was fast twitch. And then COVID hit, didn't get to go see him. I know we won a state championship in football, and I was hearing great things. And I honestly started to panic a little bit because I thought we might lose him to the draft. And thankfully for us, Vance has great parents. They're both Tar Heels, and this is where Vance wanted to be. And just to watch his growth in such a short amount of time has been really cool. But, I see these kids every day, so I see things people don't see. And what I see with Vance is he listens, he's extremely coachable, and he works. And when you do that, you're that talented, you're going to have success.
Okay, a few more. We have one on Zoom. RL Bynum, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Coach Forbes, have you ever seen in your coaching career anything like the last 35 days since the Virginia series, just going from struggling big time to just you can't do anything wrong?
Well, I still feel like we do some things wrong in the dugout. That's the coaching side of me. I don't know. I'd have to really sit back and think about that. obviously I've been coaching a long time, but I haven't been a head coach a long time. But one thing I learned from Coach as a player and then being around him all these years is at the end of the day, when you go through something like that, all the eyes are going to one person, and that's you, who's the head coach. And you have to control your emotions. You have to stay positive with these kids and continue to work really, really hard. So, you know, honestly, I can't say that I can remember off the top of my head. But I also remember eating dinner with my mom and dad. They went to that game. You know, they're both 78 years old, and having a little bit of perspective in my own mind, saying, okay, I preach to these guys to live in the moment, to be in the moment. Don't look behind us. Keep your eyes ahead, and that helped me, and I think that helped our team as well, because we talked about that a lot.
Todd.
Yeah,
back.
Scott, not all teams head into the NCAA tournament playing really well. Some teams get in because they played well early in the season. You guys are playing really well heading in. How important is that momentum as you head into the NCAA tournament?
I mean, you guys saw it with our basketball team. Momentum is extremely important. You got to keep it, and I like the fact that it's Sunday and we play again on Friday. I wouldn't like it if we had, 2 weeks. But sports, they're very momentum-based. Coach Weirs and I and Coach Gaines are huge Atlanta Braves fans, so we talked to our guys about where they were in the middle of the season. But, I heard these guys talking about it, and it made me feel really good going into the game today. They just said, this is just one step. So they know what they want, and they know how important their recovery is, and keep that momentum for us to play well. You don't celebrate but so much, you enjoy it, and then you get ready for hopefully hosting a regional at Boshamer Stadium.
Let's go back to Zoom. Shelby Swanson, go ahead.
Yeah, this is just a question for both the players. How important do you think that when the 10-0 shutout over Virginia Tech was for the momentum throughout the rest of the weekend?
I think it was big. They're very, very good offensively, and we knew that. We knew it was going to be a tough challenge that night, but we came out hot and got the bats rolling, and then Schaefer threw a great game. But I just think that win kind of was just another little block to, get us here.
Yeah, I thought that win was very, very good for us, and especially after losing the series at home earlier in the season. And that was a huge game, and credit to Schaefer. That was unbelievable. I don't think I'll ever see anything like that again.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations.